Hello, hello. Welcome to the desert. Last time we were in this monastery with the Khajiit, with the deadly dishonorable techniques.
We were starting to cross the desert, leaving the temple behind, abandoned.
Yes.
After we burned down a meth lab.
Yep.
I'm surprised we didn't find some weird guy with glasses talking to some other guy yelling, "Jesse, it's time to cook. I have cancer." Told up my brother. Told up my brother the emperor. In the emperor's eyes, know anything.
Screaming, I'm not in danger, I am the danger. I am the one who knocks.
I am the one who
And
rolls. So you have a long way ahead of you. A long way full of sand, possibly sandstorms, and a great lot of unknown.
Are we recovered? Are we back to our normal stats? Healing our injuries from the past battle?
Not yet, no,
Not yet? Okay.
not yet.
Just to be sure.
Yeah. You haven't had any rest. If you leave now,
No.
you
Indeed.
can you can take a short rest.
I was considering if the crossing the desert in a cart with nothing happening would count as a rest.
It can count, yes, but it depends on what's gonna happen.
Right. Okay.
If you get jumped, then it doesn't. So navigating through the desert. Have your characters been in such a desert before? Don't think so.
Not. Terminal has been on desert areas, but probably not one as inhospitable as this one. Waves and waves of sand.
considering that she spent probably a couple of days traveling to elsewhere, she's pretty intimate with the desert, I think, at this point. And her sheer hatred of the sand.
Lynn's been to elsewhere, but he's more he knows beaches better than like actual desert dunes and stuff.
Hmm.
He usually doesn't leave like port all that much.
Understandable. So it's gonna be quite hard for you. I want you to roll a survival test.
Already. D20?
Yes,
Is this to find water?
it's
This is it.
to.
This is how it ends.
Huh?
One critical fail.
Oh my
Well, let's
god.
see. Alright, let's see. Where the heck is there's the dice tray file. How do we roll a critical fail? We're already. I thought I was the one. Who
I was just feeling it. I just
21.
had this hunch.
Okay.
Let's see. All right.
Make your rolls, and I'm gonna describe to you
16.
what happened. Okay. So, Flynn and Aurelia don't have much of an issue. They follow the Khajiit's example in the sand, covering their full bodies with rags to prevent sunburn or heat stroke. They separate the water they have in rations so they can have it throughout the whole journey. And
I can cast Create and Destroy Water.
Yeah, but that would require spell slots. And are you gonna use that spell while you're on the journey? Hmm?
So anyway, cause ye people are kind of weird.
Yeah, are you gonna use the spell while you are on the journey?
They're just to keep topped up on water.
Okay.
You know.
Well, casting spells takes it all anyway, so it's not gonna be an easy way for you, at least. You wouldn't be getting the benefits of a long rest. And
That's a good point.
Taminol
Eh,
doesn't seem to understand what's going on. Why are they dressed up like this? He prefers keeping his clothes on.
That's stupid. I'm sorry. That's just stupid. It's a survival. It's a roll for survival, not a roll for intelligence.
Yeah.
It's
How
just-
would
okay,
Taminal
he's just like-
Taminal mess up and suffer in the desert?
Okay, two things.
Yes.
He is already injured from the previous fight.
Mm-hmm.
From the normal 20 hit health points, he has 8,
Mm.
and rolled the critical fail on survival. So either two things: either he just dies.
No, survival
Or
is not
he's-
to survive
he's
to
like-
keep living. It's to find resources in the wild to determine bird song and identify songs, even stuff like that. Bushcraft,
Oh,
find
okay.
tracks.
yeah. He's not
I-
gonna die by it.
He's not. I mean, okay. He simply cannot think straight, so he doesn't. He doesn't feel. He's not rested. He's injured. Cannot think straight. He doesn't know how to do anything at this point about that.
Okay. So, Taminal passes out by the heat in the back of the cart. Just snores melodically, rhythmically. And you travel for quite some time. I'd say you you complete a short rest, so you can roll to heal.
Right.
Guys, can you hear me now?
I imagine a giant scorpion jumping out from the sand and attacking us, or something like that.
Well, one, that just means we gotta do elsewhere. We just gotta get rid of it. There's probably giant spiders. We can't take the chance.
Well, you can make a short rest while you are traveling. So you can roll dice to heal up.
Well, that would help,
Alright.
actually.
You'll have
Let's see how many I-
D8s and you're level 4, so you have 4 D8s you can roll to heal.
Yeah, knowing my luck. Better do on this.
Hmm?
Wow, I healed 3.
What?
This is some Fallout 1 levels of healing. You healed 1 hit point. Congratulations.
1 hit point can make a difference.
That's true.
Proceeds to get hit by 30 damage.
You
Nice.
rolled 2 D8s and you rolled 3.
I know I know I have horrible luck. But I did take a nap, which is important.
Also, there is this command you can use as well, and it shows the results. with the detail.
Ah,
Um,
ah, that actually worked.
So, Terminal, you have 48. You can roll to heal.
4d8.
Yes.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7, 8,
damn.
6, 4.
You had a good
It's
nap
like
in the back of
highest
the
number,
cart.
right?
Yeah.
It's the highest number, right?
It's all of them. You heal all of them.
All of them?
Yeah.
7, okay, 6, 4, 10, 17. It just max out to
Yeah.
20.
Ted, I don't think you were hurt in the fight before. In the previous fight,
No,
so
I wasn't.
you're good. Yeah. Terminal wakes up. Fresh.
Fresh, incredible fresh. How is everyone else? Terminal wakes up fresh and in a good mood, so he plays a tune to relax the others.
Nice.
Earlier took a tiny little nap, so she's okay.
Yeah. How much HP are you missing, Aurelia?
What?
How much HP are you missing?
Last I checked, I think last session I was down to 31.
Okay. So the majority of the disciples from the temple have hurried and are far away in the front of you. You don't see them anymore. And you are in the cart with the Grandmaster, the Red Guard bodyguard, and the rest of you.
Breton.
Yeah.
He's a Breton.
The Breton bodyguard. And you see a sandstorm approaching.
Uh-oh.
And there's only one thing that can save you from it right now. It's going inside the oasis in the trees.
How far is the oasis?
It's kind of a detour, but it's gonna be way better to be there than in the middle of here and through a sandstorm.
Alright, let's wait it out.
Terminal agrees. If nobody else has mentioned this, Terminal says a massive sandstorm is coming. Let's take refuge on that oasis, or we'll be lost in the sands forever. Everybody else agrees?
Yep. Early just gives a thumbs up and goes, I would rather not have sand in my eyes.
The Grandmaster comments, something has stirred the sands. They are angry. And so indeed, you stir the cart.
The cart has the elephant pulling it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And after a few more hours of travel, you find yourselves in the lush vegetation surrounding the
Ooh.
oasis.
My power almost just went out. Everything just... That would be bad. I'd have no internet.
Oh, you're in a storm for real?
I guess so.
Damn.
Didn't know it was storming until all my lights decided to flicker.
I want to see if I have an elephant.
Last time you had to use a squirrel as an elephant.
We had to use a
A
big
giant
squirrel.
squirrel with a mount.
It was a squirrel elephant.
Squirrel elephant?
Squirrel
Damn.
elephant.
Dang. It just Aurelia looks
It-
at the giant squirrel elephant and goes, "By Keynorth,
There,
what the hell is that thing?"
there is a type of mouse that has a trunk,
Yeah.
an elongated nose.
I think it's called like a. Forget what it was called.
Well, I don't have an elephant.
Something elephant. It's something elephant. Something like that, I think.
Okay. You can definitely feel the difference in the atmosphere. It's no longer dry. It's no longer so hot. And there is a mist surrounding the trees. Some of them are even flying for some reason. No, they're not.
Is this a magical mist?
Roll Arcana.
Let's see what happens. Okay, now let's do that full command. So it's I have got a 14.
You can definitely feel that there is magic in this mist.
I want to roll for investigation.
What do you want to investigate? Anything in particular?
If there's someone else non-magical, like any creature, any person.
Okay, you can either roll for investigation or for perception.
Investigation.
Okay.
D20.
Yes.
Critical success. 20.
You hear Aurelia comment. Yes.
I have both extremes today.
Yeah.
Critical failing, critical success.
The max. Terminal is feeling critical today.
You were saying?
Terminal is feeling very, very critical. So, you hear Aurelia mention that she feels magical presence in the atmosphere.
Huh. So I'm gonna cast detect magic and like figure out what kind of magic this is. To make sure we're not gonna get.
Yeah. And Terminal, you feel the trees, you feel the bark, and it feels almost alive. It is as if the Sprigans you've heard of in tales and in myths would live in a place like this.
I know that I already heard a roll for investigation, but does Terminal hear buzzing?
There are some insects around here. They don't make a specific sound. You see them flying around the roots of the trees, near leaves on the ground.
You're just making me pucker. Dude, you're making me scared right now. I'm a little nervous. So what do I see with detect magic?
You detect that this is indeed a very deeply magical place. You can detect the magic in every root, bark, and leaf. And I'd say that you can even detect the presence of Spriggans in the distance.
I
Taminal comments, we might be in a sacred grove. We should be respectful.
or like
Especially an
Aurelia.
oasis on the desert.
Aurelia looks and goes, "Everyone, don't do anything to these trees. Do not make any aggressive movements.
Do not chop any wood.
Do not steal anything. So this is a sacred grove. We need to be very, very careful."
Taminal plucks a few chords on the lute as an attempt to appease anything that might be disturbed by the presence of mortals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being a priestess of Keenorth, this might actually come in clutch. I'm gonna like pray for safe passage, even if this is possible.
The
I know
deeper you
it's possible.
go, the deeper the vegetation, the stronger the magic feels. And then you can indeed see bipedal forms, almost humanoid, popping up around.
Uh-oh.
Bipedal
no,
I don't
form.
like bugs, guys. I don't.
The bees!
Not the bees, not the bees.
Potential title for this episode: Nicolas Cage.
Which member of the party are you today? And it's just pictures of the characters with bees around them.
His world is the you don't say.
You can see each of them has a different appearance, as if it was fashioned by different wood. As
By
if
different
different trees.
tree species.
Yes.
We're gonna start offering prayers like to Keenorith to make sure we can get through safely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make a religion check, see if this works.
You can make a religion check, and Taminal, you can make a performance test. Yeah, performance.
Do we D20?
That's a 5.
Yes.
18.
Alright, good. The duality of man.
So, as far as Aurelia knows, there are malevolent forest creatures, forest spirits. So, you don't know what's about them just by looking at them. You'd have to commune with Kinareth. You'd have to perform rituals
Ah, I see.
to find out specifically. For the time being, though, Taminal's song and performance seems to be keeping things at peace. The Spriggans come closer to you. You see them pop up through the dense vegetation, which their appearance makes it very easy for them to hide in. They're even on top.
Taminal's song.
Yes.
Taminal's songs evokes the image of of a sweet breeze brushing through the leaves of the trees. Very peaceful.
So Flynn is just trying his hardest to stay calm, but he is secretly freaking out. He does not like bugs. He does not like things that fly. He would prefer to stay away from them, but he is just
Mhm.
trying his best not to freak out.
The beast that carries your carriage doesn't seem to be affected by all this. It seems as if everything is natural. Hmm. The Sprigans are now so close, as if they came closer to take a better look at you, to hear the music better. They follow your cart closely behind. Stay. And by looking at them from so close, you can see every detail, every branch they have, every crevice. You see the roots forming their legs, the branches forming their hand, their
Intertwined.
arms. Yes, intertwined. Roots and branches, twigs, leaves. Some of them have flowers on them, even. And there is another that's smaller than the others, and it hasn't yet bloomed. It still has buds, where others have flowers.
Can I have my holy symbol visible?
Mhm.
I don't know if that helps.
And you finally arrive at a suitable place, settle down, wait out the storm, with the Spriggans still very close to you. Though they seem to have dispersed. You can still feel their magic present in every corner of the oasis, of the forest. And the Grandmaster comments that he's heard of such things, he knew of their existence, but he didn't know there were so many and so close.
You're telling me?
And he also believed
Don't
that they
worry.
would immediately attack anyone who had set foot in their grove. So he's dumbfounded as well.
Terminal comments that this is probably the first time that he saw Sprigans up close and not being aggressive.
The Breton is being kinda cynical. He comments that nobles from High Rock would pay top coin to have one of these in their garden as decor. Yep.
Terminal looks at him with eyes that would kill, but says nothing.
She just Aurelia looks at him and goes, I'm sure there are many nobles in Skyrim who would also pay for many other things that would be very immoral and dangerous. Doesn't mean it's a good idea.
Well, if I knew how to capture one and sell it to them, sounds like good enough to me. What was it, Flynn?
Flynn's nose wrinkles at the thought, and he clearly doesn't like the idea, but he doesn't want to anger anybody.
Hmm. Someone can also make a nature check. Or, I mean, all of you can make one. Go ahead. D20.
Alright, let's see. You see, she studied the religion part of Keenareth. She did not study the nature part.
I rolled a 12.
Okay.
And 11.
11.
Okay, all
That is
Timothy has to do is roll a 10 and we'll be good. Or a 13. Doesn't matter which.
Okay.
I've rolled.
What did you roll, Flynn? Flynn?
Flynn?
I think they're having a
Uh-oh.
sandstorm for real. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear
Hi.
me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Now we can.
Okay.
What did you roll?
I've rolled a 21.
Mm-hmm.
21?
Flynn knows
Yeah,
his stuff.
apparently Flynn is just rolling 21s today.
So Flynn, throughout the whole jungle here, through the forest, and looking at the Sprigans, especially the Sprigans, you see there's great value in the flora and fauna of this place, in ingredients. There is an immense amount of rare and precious ingredients.
Ooh.
I've relayed that to the party.
Mm-hmm.
Terminal doesn't feel like fighting just for resources right now.
Yeah, it really is kind of apprehensive because, well, you see, have you ever messed with a Sprigan? Do you know anyone who has and lived to tell the tale? Exactly. Let's not do that.
I don't know anyone that has, period.
Terminal decides to be a little mean to Flynn and says, do you know how Sprigans attack? They attack you with bugs. Many bugs. Stinging and biting and crawling all over you. They get in your hair, they get into your clothes, some even burrow into your skin. Do you like that? I don't like that.
Like, Aurelia just kind of goes, oh no, there
Flynn
was
kind
my
of has to
uncle.
shake away that thought.
Well, there was my uncle from Windhelm. He swore up and down that he killed a Sprigan. Nobody believed him, though. We all thought he was drunk off on Lord Meat again.
So the time passes.
What time is this? Is it like middle of the night or?
It's 6 in the morning.
Okay.
It
Almost
is,
done, basically.
Yes, it's surprisingly cold. The ground you walk upon feels wet, moist. And
Moist.
Gross.
you can hear a cool breeze brushing against your skin with the morning sun kindly peeking through the horizon and through some gaps in the foliage. There are Sprigans nowhere to be seen.
Flynn kind of lets out a sigh of relief.
What about the sandstorm? Can we see it from the position where we are inside the oasis, or do we have to go the at the the limit of the oasis?
Yeah, it's not too far. It's like a 30-minute walk with the cart. And you can see that the storm has indeed passed. The Breton is very anxious to leave this place. The Grandmaster agrees. There is no reason to disturb the spirits of the oasis any longer. Actually, the Grandmaster is very obviously having second thoughts about it. He doesn't really want to leave. He's been going on about how nice it is here, how tranquil it feels. And he's thinking of staying here for the rest of his days. He thanks the Breton for his service all this time. He says how he tried to teach him the ways of his martial art, even though with no success. And they have a really heartfelt moment between them.
Oh.
Tommy now approaches the Grandmaster and asks, "Are you sure you want this?"
I have seen many wonders, many things in my life. And now at this age, I don't feel like there is any other suitable end for one such as this one. I would rather spend my final days in a place so close to divinity here, in the nature, closer to the spirits of this oasis, rather than spend my last days in the lowly streets of some rat-infested city.
I give him Kinareth's blessing before we leave.
Mhm.
Just so the sprig, like, I don't know if that would help him at all, but I'm that keeps the Spriggans from going intruder.
I have to thank you. Without you, there is no saying what would have happened to me. What would have become of me? You have put an end to all my failings, once and for all, both the skooma and the monastery. I thank you, my friends. And he starts returning deeper to the oasis. And some Spriggans sold themselves and seem to be going behind him. gently, almost hovering above the ground. Butterflies and fireflies flying around them.
A little bit scary, but sweet.
No, the Spriggans are going over there to keep him company.
Terminal hesitates a bit. He's torn between making sure that the Grandmaster is not attacked, or just leave with no more thoughts about it.
I just like
Eventually,
Aurelia looks at him and
Even-
goes, "I think he."
eventually Terminal decides just to, okay, let's send the others. Okay, let's just go. I don't think we can do anything else here for him.
Hmm.
Aurelia nods. He prefer to be here in this tranquil place.
It is a beautiful place, better than the sands.
And as soon as you say Sans, Aurelia's like, I can't wait to go back to Skyrim if even that's possible right now.
Don't we have to go back through the sand?
Yeah, there is desert between you and the closest settlement, which can either be the big city where you left from or a nearby smaller village.
Terminal asks the others, do you prefer to go to the nearest village or right at the city? At the biggest city? What do you say?
Well, I think we should probably go with the small city or the small town. Lay low to and we lean to lay low at the big city, just in case they find out we're the ones who destroyed the Skooma lab. They start sending people after us.
Terminal comments, that's a good point indeed.
Yeah, I think going to a smaller town would be a good choice.
All right.
What does the Breton say?
He's gonna be going to the city. But since there's only one cart, he's not gonna walk alone in the sands. So he's gonna join you towards the village, and then he's gonna take a different carriage or whatever there is, whatever they use for transport, and go to the city. There is no work for a sellsword in the village. Damn it, elephant.
What about that small trade village? That one that the one where this all started.
Where it all started for you.
Or where it all started for me. What about those guys? They could probably use a guy like him, garden caravans and stuff.
He's done it in the past. It's not his choice of line of work anymore.
Well, okay.
So,
And finally, you arrive. A small village in the desert. It's late in the night. Everybody seems asleep. The only prominent sound is the footsteps of your elephant.
Yay.
There is obviously a ton of cats around here. Who are nocturnal creatures after all. That's a dog.
When you mentioned cats, not Khajiit. Right. Okay.
Yes. On every rooftop, under every table. It's gonna stay here forever now. And there is also a big ass tiger. Not this one. This one.
How big?
So big. It's sleeping on the side of a house. It looks so big that it could take down the elephant if it wanted to.
Ooh. Okay.
Leave our Scorelephant alone. It's too beautiful. I wonder if the inn's open.
There is no guards, no one around, so and the elephant is too big to go deeper into the village. It's gonna get stuck.
So somebody's got to stay at the cart.
The Breton claims that he's gonna be the one to stay behind. It looks like he's gonna take a nap too.
Bro is asleep.
Tommy now looks at the Breton with some distrust. He doesn't say anything.
Okay.
What? I wonder where my cocaine horse was, because he took off like a rocket.
What?
First session, we were trying to. So like we were messing around, and the horse kept doing flips and shit. And I'm like, okay, what? That horse saw cocaine.
Well, I think it's this one.
Oh, it's back. Nobody look at him. Nobody look at him. He'll kill you. I've seen him do it. He killed 3 kids for skooma.
Well, the tiger notices you, doesn't respond.
Tommy now looks at the tiger, trying to guess his thoughts, if he's going to attack or just continue to sleep.
Roll insight. D20.
D20?
Yes.
D20. 19.
It's so helplessly bored. It wouldn't get up even if drums were banging next to its ears.
Terminal sighs with relief.
The tiger just releases a massive yawn. You can see its jaws opening up wide. You can see it's the sabers it has for teeth. No one would like to be inside those jaws in any way.
I want to be friends with it. Could I take a little piece of a ration from my bag and then hold it, like, throw it in front of it?
Yeah.
Tommy now looks at you. Tommy now looks at Flynn with terror in his eyes. What is he doing?
Well, the tiger doesn't respond to that either and just gives you the most condescending look you've ever seen in your life. It looks at you as if you threw dirt in front of it.
Tommy now
Flynn
comments with
is
Flynn.
is kind of offended by that. He's like,
Tommy now comments
okay,
with
wow,
Flynn.
be like that.
Be thankful. This beast doesn't consider it even worthy of a snack, of being a snack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Terminal comments.
Yes.
Terminal comments. I guess a human head could tumble inside that mouth like a drying machine. Don't ask me what a drying machine is. I don't know either.
You mean those ropes that old ladies like to hang their underwear out on?
Maybe.
Some sort of Dwimmer machine I haven't heard of yet.
True.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised considering these
A cat approaches you.
small cannons I have in my pocket.
Starts going around Flynn's legs. Then goes to Aurelia's legs. And then finally walks between Terminal's legs. It's a dark gray cat. Not a black
Terminal
one.
leans over and pets the cat.
Flynn is delighted to, after trying to give a snack to the tiger, he is delighted by this, and he just loves up on the cat, like drops his weapon and is like grabbing both ears, like rubbing.
Like, Aurelia's just gonna watch this. No attempt to pet the cat because two other party members seem to be enthralled by the cat.
The cat reacts positively to the petting. It enjoys it. And then looks at you and says, "This one welcomes these strangers. Do not mind my friend not giving you any attention. His interests include hunting and fighting with other tigers in the desert."
What does he hunt? What does he likes to hunt?
The more dangerous the prey, the greater his enjoyment. I can see that he considers you no real threat, nor an enjoyable prey. Maybe you should these ones should consider themselves lucky for both things, for both facts.
Terminal comments, yes, we're lucky. We are just boring. I just lay down and die.
This was like I'm thinking this is like a Khajiit child that's just walking around unsupervised.
Flynn is just slightly horrified that they just petted a talking cat rather than what they assumed was like a house cat.
Maybe these ones would enjoy a drink and a meal at the inn. Follow this one.
Terminal promptly follows the cat.
Yeah.
Flynn picks up the weapon he dropped and follows.
It's
I will
those
also
who know, those who don't know.
He was
me.
probably carrying his daggers, so it just kind of stuck in the sand.
Mm. The cat walks you to the center of this small village. There you can see stands that look like would house a bazaar in the day during the day. Now they are all covered up with canvases and other rags. All the products, all the goods stowed away in boxes, crates, and other things. And you can see a faint light coming out of this building here. It is where the cat leads you. He climbs on top of here, and he lets you know that this is indeed the inn. And he recommends trying out the sugar pies, which of course are moon sugar pies, and the snake skewers. Who are made in a very specific home recipe, with a specific home recipe. The inn looks quite welcoming. There is no people in it right now. You can hear someone in the back reacting to the sound of the door opening, saying something in the Khajiit tongue. Do any of you speak the Khajiit tongue? Tagra. That's what it's called.
No.
Maybe not. Okay. So you have no idea what this person just said. And a Khajiit man appears, dressed in simple clothes. Takes a good look at you, instantly can tell that you are no Khajiit, and speaks to you in the common Tamrielic tongue. This one was not expecting strangers so late in the night. How may I help you?
It's been a long journey. I would enjoy a meal and maybe a bed to sleep in.
Terminal comments the same. Yes, I would like for a meal and a bed, please.
This one is more than delighted to help you. And he starts naming some food items he can serve you, including the sugar pies and the snake skewers that the Alifik Kajit recommended. He promptly gives you some water to drink, some bread, and he lets you know that there is also alcoholic beverages if you would like to. If you would like some.
Terminal asks for moon sugar pie, water and bread, and that is all.
Flynn, as long as it's not skooma. Although I'd like a nice ale.
I'm gonna have just a piece of bread and some water.
He swiftly brings those over, the things you ordered. And you see the cat
You two have to
walk
be so
in.
serious all the time. Live a little. Have a drink.
Vikashit goes
the
down the
cat's-
cellar to get the coldest ale and some other foodstuffs from there. And greets the cat, calling her sister. She goes to a very comfortable spot on an armchair in some blankets and starts cleaning herself.
Terminal explains to Flynn that the Khajiit have different shapes depending of the moons. Some look like human with cat heads, others look like house cats, but they are all Khajiit.
Oh, hey. It's an interesting fact to know.
The innkeeper brings a key to 2 rooms you can have. One has 2 beds, one has 1 bed. And he says that the reason he was up so late in the night is because he heard of a raiding party going around, and he was afraid they might come in this village as well. He said they were looking for some people, some furless ones that have been seen going around the monasteries a lot lately.
Uh-oh.
Terminal asks, have you seen these furless ones?
This one is not very sure. The sand can play with the mind and the senses. There are many illusions, especially in the middle of the day, where even the air itself is dancing on the sand. I can't say I have seen anyone really. This one is not even
Terminal
sure
asks,
you are real. I hope this one hopes your coin is real at least. Starts laughing.
Terminal takes one septum and throws it to the counter. Is this real enough?
He picks it up, takes a good look at it, tosses it in the air, flipping it with his finger. The sound of his claw making a different sound than a different person might make. He catches it and smiles back, winking. This one sees it as real enough and pockets it.
Terminal
Flynn
asks,
looks
when
down
was
at
the last
himself.
time you've heard of those raiders?
Flynn looks down at himself and goes, I hope I'm real. Like pats his pockets and stuff.
Aurelia just quietly munches on the bread. It's just.
They have been going around the desert for a few days now. The sandstorm kept them away from here, I assume. For now, at least. I never imagined I would be thankful for such a disaster to happen. They say the sandstorm will be going through this village in the next few days. I would not blame you if these ones would have been gone by then.
Terminal looks at Flynn and Aurelia with a look that says they're onto us, probably, but says nothing with words.
Aurelia just nods knowingly.
Can you make a performance check against my I
Inside.
don't know, what would that be? Insight to see if Flynn gets the message.
Do you want me to do that too? Just to see.
Sure.
Let's just do it.
Yeah, roll.
Let's do this. This is the part where I fail. 21.
Terminal looks at Aurelia with the face trying to get the hint. Get the hint.
And she's slowly starting to plan her trip back to Skyrim.
Oh, Flynn got a 16.
Flynn gets it, I guess. I don't know. Does Flynn gets it?
Yes. I think so.
Just to be sure, Terminal says something. Well, apparently, some raiders are afting some furless people. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Aurelia looks at him and goes, she gives him a look of, no, hey, why don't you announce? It's a look that says, why don't you just announce where we are?
Can you not be so loud?
Oh god, Aurelia is the
innkeeper-
mom of the group.
The innkeeper is just cleaning a glass and just looks at you over after seeing you, like whispering to one another. Are these ones in need of anything else?
No.
Flynn just starts drinking his ale. He's like,
Terminal asks the innkeeper, does the bazaar outside sells clothes appropriate for the desert?
Of course, these ones will find any kind of useful of equipment for the desert around these parts. Be it weapons, clothes, or mounts. Whether it is armor you need or a new blade, you can find it here.
Terminal then asks if he can go to sleep now or get into a bed right now.
Yes, I really would also like to get into bed and sleep.
Mm-hmm. You have the keys already.
Okay.
Unfortunately, this one has not yet filled the barrels in every room, so if these ones would like to bathe themselves, you would have to wait until tomorrow morning. This one is very sorry. And gives a little bow, asking for forgiveness.
Terminal says, that's okay, we are just tired, we just want to sleep.
Oh, then do not let this one keep you from your rest. And shows you where your rooms are and gives you a small tour of each one. If there is any need in the night, do not hesitate to let this one know. This one will be swift to accommodate you. The cat that's been cleaning itself for the past few minutes on the armchair also pops up and says, "This one will also accommodate you as well."
Can we all get it?
I'll take you up on that offer. Yeah, I'm told the desert can get cold at night.
It is true. Not only cold, but freezing cold.
Really is in a nice warm blanket. Gets in the bed, gets under the blanket, and is like out like a light. She's just
Nothing
Terminal
like candle heart
lays-
hollow. Yes, Terminal?
Terminal lays in this bed. He stares at the ceiling, thinking what to do next day. And then he rolls from one side and goes to sleep.
Well, I know in standard 5e, elves go into more of a trance, like meditation and sleep. Do they do that in Elder Scrolls as well? Or in this version?
I'll have to take a look at it to be sure. Give me a second.
So I'd imagine that would change how he slept deeply or etc.
Ultmer. Page 11.
Because I don't think Altmer have dark vision.
They don't, no.
That's one thing that's different. But I didn't know if the sleeping patterns were.
oh no, we have a high elf. Let's hope we don't end up going into Windhelm. I heard they're racist there.
No, you don't get the trance thing. Just like in 5e. You sleep just like everybody else. Their advanced age means they are still considered young until the age of 60. It is rumored that some Altmer on the Somerset Isles who are over 4,000 years old. Okay.
I have Flynn down as 43.
Just a kiddo. By Altimer standards. You can hear Taminal
Yeah, and he's
snoring.
not just a high, like, Altmer. He's got royal blood, so. Some people really might not like him.
Yeah. Some Nords.
Just be careful. What? If you go out of the Grey Quarter in Windhelm, you might get beat up.
You might get some snow in your eye.
Actually, if you go towards the Grey Quarter, you might get beat up. I heard the Dunmer there are even meaner than, or more mean to high elves.
Well, I think I have at least 6 weapons on me right now, so.
Used to know a high elf friend. He went to the Grey Quarter, never saw him again.
Damn. Who done it?
And I think I have crossbow bolts for some reason, even though I don't have a crossbow.
It's just like in
He
Skyrim
said
when you
he's-
get shot by an arrow, it gets added in your inventory.
Yeah. He said he called the Dunmer a racial slur, and he got
Enwa,
stabbed
yeah.
because of it.
He called them Enwas. And there is a very famous song called Enwas in Windhelm.
No. I did not need to hear that.
Yeah, Flynn keeps a dagger and a flintlock on the, like, table, but otherwise he puts everything else away. Maybe under the bed.
Under the pillow.
Yeah, one of the one of the daggers is sheathed under the pillow, and then the other one is on the
The end table.
yeah, along with one of his flintlocks. Everything else is stashed under the bed, including his outer clothes.
Flynn, you hear scratching on your door, and soon after there is meowing.
Flynn rises, opens the door just slightly.
You see the Alfik outside. The moment you open the door, she storms in, rubbing herself against your legs, against the door, then the chair, then the bed.
Welcome, my friend.
This one is one of this one's favorite rooms. You were lucky to have it. And starts, jumps on the bed, starts purring.
Flynn also lays down. He opens his arms.
The cat, the Alfik, invites pets and belly rubs.
Flynn obliges.
Until at some point, I'm guessing one of you or both of you falls asleep.
Yes.
Is Taminal snoring so loudly?
Yeah, I don't know who has the single room and which two are in the.
If he sleeps with his lute, he randomly plays strings.
And Aurelia just grabs the lute, just puts it, just goes, "Shut up!"
Yeah, I'm thinking Terminal and Aurelia are in the same room. Of course,
The
Terminal
bard
is
declared, walk
already
into a room.
unconscious. Yeah, Aurelia, taking a moment before you lose consciousness, you can feel the weather. You can feel the change in the atmosphere, going from day to night, and it is now quite cold now. Your warm blankie protecting you. It's no windhold cold, but still being in the scorching desert heat all day makes it seem like so. Of course, instead of snow and white dressed rocks, Winterhold has. There is an endless horizon of sand here.
In memes, I just put Aurelia right now. She's just a blanket burrito.
Yeah, Flynn's for the latter part of his life, he's been living on ships with crewmates. So this is a nice getaway for him. He's probably still like locked the door and like taken an extra measure. Maybe there's like a bell or something so that it would make noise if someone got in.
Mm-hmm.
But he's letting himself relax otherwise.
Okay. Flynn, you open your eyes. You see the Alfik standing at the end of the table of the bed. This one is finally awake. Good morning. And then she promptly jumps on the window, opens it, and jumps out. You have completed
Flynn kind of
a long
grumbles some
rest.
morning.
Terminal wakes up, looks around, sits on his bed, and moves his arms and legs, and he gets up and gets dressed.
Everything is in its place. There is quite a commotion outside. You can definitely hear that the bazaar, the market, the innkeeper was referring to is taking place outside.
I imagine Flynn takes a while just to slowly wake up, put his legs over the bed, stretches, dresses, retrieves his weapons.
Aurelia gets up and just gets ready to greet the day.
Large woman!
That's my snooze new. That's my snooze new.
Imagine a
Why
fat
do some of them
Kaji.
come out like so large?
Is that a woman from Amazonia?
I'm from the Amazon.
Like, the punishment is death. My snooze new. Yeah, yeah. Oh, what are you, gay? That, are you okay there, buddy? No, it's. What are you, gay? Like, that's his response. And then when they're finally done, Bender, he No, he and Fire and like King Cast. Pelvises are broke, dude.
Terminal thinks that he's seen a female Khajiit flexing her muscles. Like her biceps.
Oh, if only. Oh, if only my red dart friend were here. She would totally enjoy this.
There is more cats outside here than there would be outside a fishery. There's a bunch of people just going around, taking a good look at the wares here, going to the inn for a quick bite, for something to drink.
Are we at the ground level or are we at the top of the inn?
You're on the second level, first floor.
Okay. Terminal. Then he says to Flynn and Aurelia, "Those raiders are coming after us. We should buy some clothes to use as a disguise."
Flynn comments, I didn't want to say it before, but what if they've been hearing about us? Because we have been traveling quite a bit, and these parts don't have many Khajiit. Many non-Khajiit.
That is why we should find some clothes that are able to cover us completely. And desert clothes normally cover everything.
They do.
Yeah, if we get stuck in that sandstorm, I don't want sand all up on my clothes. So,
Riley is thinking very clearly. She goes, well, wouldn't be a bad idea. Still, that snowstorm or that sandstorm might delay them a little bit.
we left the Breton outside in the cold. Nobody went back to tell him, hey, it's chill.
He kind of stands out in the crowd. He's there. He's outside.
Terminal was a bit afraid that the Breton would run away with the cart and leave them stranded there.
Well, he spent a lot of time, a few years actually, in elsewhere with the Grandmaster, so he knew how to protect himself from the night cold in the desert. You see him in the market picking up provisions for travel, and he seems okay. He's speaking in Tagra with the merchants, not in Tamrielic.
I imagine Flynn is idly cleaning his weapons and loading his Dwemer cannons. I don't know what to call them. I don't want to call them flintlocks because he hasn't found a really name for them, even though we know.
Probably
They use fire salts.
Fire
shooters.
Dwemer nose blowers or something like that.
The Dwemer welcome. The Dwemer handshake.
I like that Dwemer handshakes.
Dwemer handshake.
Yeah.
Terminal
Dwemer
comments with
face
Flynn
takers.
and Aurelia. Terminal comments to Flynn and Aurelia that since he's a red guard, he's the least out of place, so he is going to buy the clothes. He goes to the bazaar and buys some clothes for them.
Alright. Riley's just gonna just sit there and wait.
Terminal going out, you get in the crowd, it's just outside. There's no way of avoiding them. And you can see there is a stand that sells clothes suitable for both travel in the scorching heat and staying in the night cold.
Terminal asks for 3 complete sets of clothing. I guess it is like a long tunic.
I was more imagining like scarves, bandanas, like not tunics, but like a shawl or a poncho, for lack of a better word.
There is a lot of variety. There are some very ornate ones decorated with precious stones that are very expensive. And then there are some simpler ones. Yep.
Terminal asks for simpler ones, less able to attract attention.
Oh, then this one would like these, and shows you some very ordinary everyday clothes that look exactly like what everyone around you is wearing. There are
Terminal
tunics,
accepts and asks for the
ponchos.
price.
They even look like burqas that cover the whole head, the whole face, and the body. It's gonna be 3 septims for each set of clothes. So it's gonna be a total of 9. 9?
9? 9.
Terminal pays and then he goes back to the first floor of the inn and handles
Whoa.
the clothes to Flynn and Aurelia.
Nice.
Okay. Okay. The terminal brings you clothes.
Accepts the clothes and tosses Teminol a soul gem.
Ooh.
And thanks.
And a few coins. I'm gonna go change real quick into my desert clothing.
Okay.
Or I'm just gonna put it over my regular clothes.
Yeah, that's what Flynn does. He just kind of puts it on over his regular clothes. It may be hot, but it'll be protective.
They are indeed meant to be worn over other clothes, other articles of clothes. It's no big deal. They are so loose that the air goes through them and you're staying cool no matter what you're wearing underneath them. The Breton comes in the inn and he is looking for you. I've got this I was supposed to deliver. Your hands only. No.
A letter from the Jarl. Oh, you're going up in a world. What the the Jarl?
And he says that he's gonna be going. He wants to thank you for being of assistance. It was nice knowing you. He enjoyed traveling with you. He is happy to see the Grandmaster finally find a place to rest peacefully. And he also gives you a tip for if you ever find yourselves in High Rock, who to look for, and a bit of insight on how things are there. They say that for its hill in High Rock, there is a king for it. And there is a hill in High Rock where he is the king. So if you are ever there, just look for him. He gives a heartfelt goodbye and leaves. He got a smaller, faster mount rather than an elephant with a cart. He got something like a camel, let's say. But he will be gone by the middle of the day. No, he actually is gonna be gone soon because he wants to avoid the middle of the day, the scorching sun. If you wanna say anything to him, now's your chance.
Flynn wishes him good luck.
Aurelia says
Maybe pats
goodbye.
him on the arm.
Tommy now says goodbye with nothing else besides that. Since the last time they had a fight and the Breton did nothing besides talking shit, Taminel lost a good amount of respect for him.
Understandable.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
The innkeeper also demands pay for his services.
Of course,
Yeah.
how much?
It's gonna be 7 septims each.
I hand him the 7 septims.
Okay.
Yeah, Flynn doesn't really bat an eye at that price. He just hands it over.
Very nice.
Taminel gives 14 septums instead of 7 and says, "These extra 7 is for if someone asks for us, you never saw us."
Oh, this one might have gotten some sand in this one's eye. I don't know what you mean. These sandstorms have been very intense lately. Just smiles.
Nice. We're off to next.
Taminel then asks Flynn and Aurelia, "Do you wish to stay here longer, or do you wish to leave for the city?"
We should probably keep on the move.
I don't think there's much else we can do in this city. It's very, in this little town, it's quite small.
We should probably see
Coming
about getting out of the province, at least temporarily.
Taminel
Although,
comments,
if that Khajiit would like to come with us, it would not, the small Khajiit, the cat, I would not object.
I doubt that she will come with us. Terminal comments, we should probably go back to the city and explain to the Grand Master of the temple there that we found the skooma, where the skooma was being poisoned, and we have destroyed it. At the same time, we should escape the raiders. If they are looking for us at the desert, we should be in the city instead.
Well, it seems like the entirety of Elsewhere might not be safe anymore, so it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to think about getting out of the province and making ourselves scarce here.
The Breton mentioned High Rock. Probably an option to consider.
We'd probably have to go to a port. There's no real way through unless you want to go through the north into Cyrodiil.
If so, then another reason for us to return to the city and find us a ship there.
Yeah. It'd be much easier than running across the desert and hope we get to somewhere like Leowin anytime quicker. Alright, let's go see what.
Terminal asks Flynn. What do you say, Flynn?
Let's go to the city.
Then it's settled.
Off to the city. The city.
Are you British?
British. I've been in love.
Funnily enough, I know like 3 British guys.
You leave behind the small Khajiit village. With its relatively peaceful streets. And you find yourselves once again in this busy city. The Elf Well. I think that's what it's called. I think I had given it a name. Yeah, the city of Elfwell. That's what it's called. Because there were so many elves coming from here, it was as if there is indeed a well full of them. It's a coastal city. It explains it. Once again. More people that anyone can count. Buying, selling, haggling, stealing, thieving, even murdering. While on the next street, on the next rooftop,
Pickpocketing.
pickpocketing, of course. While on the very next street, there's the best food money can buy in this area, in this province. There's the best musicians, the best artisans, the most beautiful. Come on. The most beautiful monuments, the kindest people you can meet, all in the same city.
I mean, we should find the temple right away and relay the news.
Mm-hmm. One of the
Terminal agrees.
monasteries in the city is just outside. This is a small monastery in the city. What were you looking for?
For the Grandmaster.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were trying to look for a way to get to High Rock by boat.
What is gonna be then?
Well, I
Think
thought we'd
it's
find
Terminal-
a boat after.
Terminal intends to speak with the Grandmaster, explain everything that happened till then, about the other monastery in the desert, the skooma laboratory, how it's destroyed. There will be no more poisoned skooma, but there are raiders coming after Flynn, after Aurelia, and Terminal, of course. And they have the need to lay low for a while at least. Plus,
Oh.
Terminal is tired of sand.
Flynn presents one of the death bells to him, shows him what it is, what they were using, so that hopefully they can prevent another poisoned skooma in the future.
Okay. The Grandmaster is very happy to hear those news. You can see the spark in his eyes. It is as if a heavy burden lifted from his shoulders. There will be no more contaminated poisonous moon sugar and skooma. And on top of that, you have stirred the treacherous monks so much that they have made themselves vulnerable, and they are easier to be taken out. And all the monasteries can return to their former glory this way.
Terminal laments not have been able to either kill or apprehend the what's his name, the skooma dealer and the Khajiit thief.
Lars?
Lars and Two Tails Ahana.
Yeah.
No, it's a car. I mean,
car,
the dealer
yeah.
is a car, and Two Tails Ahana, the Khajiit skooma dealer.
Yeah. They are still at large in the city, yeah. Well, after he's done with the monks, he's gonna be trying to deal with them in conjunction with the matriarch of the city.
Terminal boldly asks if there's some reward for having dealt with the monastery and the poison skooma.
Oh, very, very much so. He has some stuff he can give you here, but he would be happier to offer you stuff he has at the monastery, or if you waited in the city for a few more hours, so he could bring those.
Terminal is willing to wait.
I'll wait.
Yeah, Flynn doesn't mind waiting.
Mm-hmm. So you have a few hours in the city. Town, it's a big city, not a town. You see all sorts of things, just as always, especially on the rooftops where the city guard doesn't watch. And when the Grandmaster finally arrives, he has a total of 300 septims. He has a unique musical instrument that is like a mouth harp, if you know what that is.
A pan flute? No, a mouth harp.
Yes.
Okay, it's a mouth harp. So you blow and pluck the strings, I guess. I don't know how that works, but okay. Mouth harp.
Oh,
Terminal takes the mouth harp.
Yeah, there's also fine clothes. There is a spear as well that is made in his monastery, and it is a +2/+2 weapon, meaning +2 to hit, +2 damage.
ooh.
Some 70 septims worth of jewelry. Enough skooma and moon sugar to knock an elephant out. And a scroll of calm. Calm emotions, essentially.
So, the Grandmaster brought us 300 septims. I suppose it's 100 septims for each of us.
Mm-hmm.
Unless the other two don't want it.
Oh, what?
100 septims.
I'll
Is
take 50 of it.
Aurelia 50?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Flynn,
Flynn
do you want
will
100?
take his 100.
So Terminal will take the other 100 plus the 50.
Oh, well, I'll take the 25 of what he didn't want.
Okay.
Unless you want to like cards for it or something.
Oh,
I don't really
might
need-
be good.
Really doesn't need much. She only just needs a place to sleep and a place to rest, and 50 gold's pretty good enough for that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the jewelry was valued how much? 77?
70 septims worth of jewelry. One of these,
70.
there is a
70.
bracelet among these jewelry, which allows the wearer to cast minor illusion.
Terminal takes the bracelet.
The mouth harp I posted in the side chat. I don't know if that's what you were talking about.
The mouth flute. The mouth harp, actually.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
It's
Tamina
like a
already took
bluegrass
this.
thing, I think.
What was it, Flynn?
What was the +2 weapon?
A spear.
The spear.
Mm,
And he also has some of the disciples perform for you a traditional dance and song that is like almost like a martial performance. You can see the moves have a very strong and intense, have strong and very intense steps. It is as if they are mimicking a fight. And they can also find you passage on a ship that goes towards High Rock. You can be more than sure that it has a lot of moon sugar on it.
I could take the spear. Although I think it's a little redundant to have a bow and a spear when I have so many weapons already. So I think I'll go to the one of the merchants and sell the bow and arrows, unless anybody else wants it. So it's one short bow and 8 arrows.
Okay. So,
Tamina, Tamina, about the rest of the jewelry. Tamina keeps the illusion bracelet, and then he keeps plus equivalent 20 septims, which accounts for less than. Well, he takes the bracelet and 20 septims. There's 50 septims of jewelry that I guess Flynn and Aurelia can divide between themselves for 25 each.
okay.
Sounds
Awesome.
fair.
If they are okay with this arrangement.
I'm alright with that.
All right. So you are seen to board the ship for High Rock, and soon enough, you set sail for the land of kings. We will be seeing you on the next one, everybody. See ya.
So
All
yeah,
right.
finally, we are back on the sea,
We're out of the desert.
out of the desert, into the land of kings and sorcerers and wizards. And castles with vampires, too.